Everyone knows someone who, after a joint, suddenly believes they've uncovered the meaning of life, or someone who melts into the couch with a bag of chips, unable to move. But what's actually happening in the brain? Today we'll explore how cannabis, specifically Sativa and Indica, affects the body and mind, why one strain makes you feel inspired and talkative while the other turns you into a peaceful burrito of relaxation. Cannabis contains over 100 different cannabinoids, but the two main players are THC and CBD. THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, is the psychoactive component. It causes the high. CBD, cannabidiol, on the other hand, calms anxiety and can counter some of THC's more intense effects. These compounds interact with the endocannabinoid system, a network of receptors found throughout the body, in the brain, immune system, and digestive tract. The key receptors are CB1, mainly in the brain, and CB2, mostly in the immune system. When THC binds to CB1 receptors, it changes how neurotransmitters like dopamine, GABA, and glutamate are released. This leads to altered perception, mood shifts, and sometimes those deep, what even is time, moments. Let's break it down into the phases of the high. Phase 1, onset, 5 to 10 minutes after smoking or vaping. THC travels through the bloodstream and reaches the brain. Your heart rate increases, pupils widen, and a wave of euphoria sets in. Many people suddenly feel more creative. The brain forms looser associations because THC reduces inhibition in the prefrontal cortex. Phase 2, peak, around 30 to 60 minutes. This is where everything becomes vivid, music sounds richer, colors more intense. Your sense of time gets distorted because THC affects the cerebellum and hippocampus. Dopamine and serotonin surge, creating that familiar blend of joy, calm, and sometimes wild giggles. Here's where Sativa and Indica really diverge. Sativa stimulates the central nervous system. You feel energized, social, and inspired. Indica works more on the body. It relaxes muscles, slows thoughts, and often leads to that famous couch-locked state. Phase 3, plateau and come down, 1 to 3 hours. The liver starts metabolizing THC into 11-hydroxy-THC, an even more potent compound. Depending on the strain, this can lead to deep introspection or peaceful calm. Indica-heavy strains release more GABA, explaining the soothing body high. Eventually, the effects fade, leaving mild fatigue or a cozy sense of contentment. Now let's talk science, Sativa versus Indica. Originally, the terms described botanical differences, how the plants grow and look. Chemically, the differences are more nuanced. Sativa strains often contain higher levels of THC and terpenes like limonene or pinene, which have uplifting effects. Indica strains tend to contain more CBD and terpenes like mycin or linalool, which are calming and sedative. These terpenes don't just affect aroma, they also influence how cannabinoids behave in the body. This synergy is called the entourage effect, a chemical teamwork between THC, CBD, and terpenes that shapes the overall experience. Psychologically, cannabis reaches deep into the brain's reward system. It increases dopamine in the nucleus accumbens, which produces motivation and pleasure. It also reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex, lowering impulse control and distorting self-awareness. When overstimulated, this can lead to anxiety or paranoia, especially with high THC, low CBD strains. That's why cannabis can both relax and overwhelm. Sativa may open your mind but also overstimulate it. Indica may calm you down but also make you sluggish. The outcome depends on dosage, strain, mindset, and setting, less about the plant, more about the person. In the end, cannabis isn't a magic key, it's an amplifier. It amplifies what you already feel, think, and are, just louder and more colorful. Whether you become a philosopher or a fossilized pizza eater depends not only on the strain, but on what's going on inside you. So, stay curious, but stay conscious.